welcome to Art and Talk. Art and Talk is an online interviewing platform for artists to share their art, creativity, and passion. We embrace all the arts, the traditional arts and the spiritual arts, to bring you diverse and quality interviews to watch and be inspired by. If you are an artist and you're interested in being interviewed on Art and Talk, just send an email to us at viewoftheartist@gmail.com, and we'll get back to you with scheduling and information. Thank you so much for being with us today. I'm Leslie Sue, the host for Art and Talk, and today we have a guest singer-songwriter, and she has a wide range of different musical influences such as Americana, country, folk, blues, also with some jazz influences. So we're going to dive into her musical journey, and we'll also have some live performances. Thank you again, everybody, for being here. And I'd like to welcome our guest today, Tiffany Pollack. Tiffany, welcome.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Oh, we're so glad that you're here today. And you look so cozy up there in your studio.
Yeah, yeah, it's a cool space.
Yeah. All right, so Tiffany, you draw from a lot of different musical influences. Let's touch upon that. Where do these influences come from? How do they play into your music and your writing and composition?
Well, I'm Louisiana born and raised. Um, and there's a lot of Delta blues and Zydeco, which to me is kind of sounds a lot like country music, really. And I also grew up listening to a lot of country music, a lot of classic country. My mother listened to a lot of classic country growing up. And I've always been into writing. I mean, I've been writing poetry since as long as I can remember. And so I was drawn to folk music as well because of, the impactful lyrical content. And yeah, I think just living in Louisiana, blues and country and soul and particularly, living in the greater New Orleans area, listening to the Meters and stuff like that growing up, all of those influences kind of tie together. And then also, I mean, New Orleans is one of the birthplaces of jazz, and Louis Armstrong, and Buddy Bolden, and that sort of thing. It's all just kind of ingrained in the culture. And so growing up here, you're just kind of like immersed in it, really.
Mm-hmm. So the rich musical legacy where you are like really had a strong influence on you. And you said you were writing poetry at a pretty young age, so you were kind of drawn to words. And then how did the whole music come in? And in addition to what you were hearing, and you said like your mom was playing a lot of country music, but how did you actually getting into performing and singing? What are the origins of that, Tiffany?
So I was adopted at birth. Um, and my family that raised me, my mother that was listening to country music, they're not musical at all. But I always was drawn to singing. I mean, I've been singing since I could talk, it's just kind of always been a part of me. I can't really say when or what started it, but when I was 25 years old, I found my biological family, and I met my biological mother, and I learned all about my lineage, and they're all musicians. My biological mother is a jazz singer and a bass player. My grandmother was an opera singer. My grandfather played clarinet and owned a piano shop in central Louisiana. My Both of my uncles are musicians. My uncle Charles, who just recently passed away, had a wonderful Americana band. My aunt is a jazz singer. My first cousin Eric Johansson is a very successful blues songwriter and guitar player. And so when I discovered them, it just sorry, my dog. as Ian. Hold on 1 second. Scary. My when I met my biological family, my natural inclination to music and writing just kind of made sense. When I was in elementary school, I was taking piano lessons, and my piano teacher, I was, before I took piano lessons, my parents had this old 70s organ in their house, and I would go up to it and I would just start playing. And I mean, I was writing songs with like, 3 little fingers on 3 little keys. Like, those are some of my earliest memories. And before I even knew what I was doing it, you know. And eventually my parents realized, oh, well, she's obviously got some kind of inclination. And I was in chorus in school, and, they had me in talented music and whatnot. And so they put me in piano lessons. And my piano teacher used to always say, girl, I don't know who your biological mama is, but she must have been a musician because you sure do have an ear. And my piano teacher had such a difficult time teaching me how to read music because I just always wanted to play by ear. And eventually, I mean, I don't know if this was really great for her to do, but eventually she kind of gave up teaching me how to read music. And when she had to teach me a piece for a recital or whatnot, she would play different pieces of it, and then I would copy it, and then she'd send me home with a cassette tape of the recording of what I needed to learn, and then I would go home and figure out the rest. So I just, I can't say that any one thing influenced me. I feel like it was, a nature versus nurture kind of thing, and I feel like it was just in my DNA, and that is why I was drawn to writing and music.
Yes, yeah, it sounds like you're just a natural from the get-go, and that's an amazing family heritage of musicianship. It's not just parented; it's really extending out.
Yeah. I mean, my whole family, going generations and different, branches of my biological family, there's just music everywhere. Everyone has some kind of ability, even the people who are not doing it professionally. I mean, they still have some sort of a natural inclination or ability. It's just in my DNA, I guess.
Yes. You know what? Let's go ahead and let's hear you sing one of your songs. If you want to set it up for us and just let us know what it's about, and when you're ready, we'd love to hear it.
Let's see. What do I want to start with? I think I'll start off with a song that is going to be, well, I think I'm going to do all that are on my album that I'm releasing this summer. It's going to be coming out July 16th. And it's entitled Bayou Liberty. That's the name of the main highway that I grew up off of in Slidell, Louisiana. And a lot of my lyric content has a sort of theme of, women empowerment and coming into your own and that sort of thing. And so I thought the whole Bayou Liberty title, women's liberty and, women coming into power and whatnot, I thought it kind of fit. This song is called Hourglasses. And it's really it's about watching, your family get older, your parents get older, maybe having a strained relationship, and watching those who always were in authority and in power in your life, watching them get older and the tables kind of turning. So this is called Hourglasses. Used to be I was the apple of your eye. Don't know when it happened, but at some point I learned that was a lie. Guess I never was what you wanted of me. I spent so long trying to get you to see me. I was just a kid figuring out things. You kept coming around, clipping my wings. Sometimes you could be as gentle as a lamb, and you turn around and be a different kind of man. Never liked your folks, and now I know why. 'Cause they were bitter and consumed, and they poison your mind. I look at images of you as a child, and I feel so sad and mad for a while, but I'm watching your hourglass run low, and that fire that used to make you so red is losing its glow. I keep searching my soul, just trying to find that love for you I lost somewhere down the line. You never rose above, and for that I paid. Well, I paid and paid and paid for the mistakes they made. You perpetuated their disdain, and you took their hatred and you made it your name. What a shame. I'm watching your hourglass run low, and that fire that used to make you so red is losing its glow. And I keep searching my soul, just trying to find that love for you I lost somewhere down the line. I'm all grown now with children of my own. They will never know what I know. I keep fighting my demons all the time, but at least I apologize when I'm unkind. 'Cause I know my hourglass is running fast, and I know what I leave behind will last and last and last and last. And I know that my time should be well spent. When I'm gone, my babies won't be wondering where I went.
Thank you, Tiffany. That was so beautiful.
Thank you.
Can we talk a moment about your voice and your singing style? Because it is just so full of soul and heart, and it's just so peaceful, and it just evokes this quality that even if it seems like, maybe the lyrical content, if you just look at that, maybe have a little bit of sadness or little melancholy, it still seems like through your voice, there's not that heaviness. There's still a lot of light that comes through. I just in love with your voice. I have to tell you, I was listening to your music all day yesterday. It's so beautiful, and your voice is so striking. How do you describe your voice? What is your style?
Oh, I don't know really how to answer that. I can say that my vocals are influenced by a handful of female vocalists who I admire tremendously. Those vocalists being Sarah Vaughan, Tammy Wynette, Anita O'Day, and probably and Joan Baez, very much. And I think I just take some of that southern draw, I guess, that I have and apply it to those influences. I really I love Tammy Wynette and how she almost sounds like she's crying when she's singing. It just kind of like tears at your heartstrings when she's singing. And, I love how Sarah Vaughan plays with melody and how she adds a soulfulness to her delivery. And Joan Baez, I just love her inflection and her purity. And I guess maybe I just take those influences and just, that's kind of where I guess that's where I get my thing. I don't know.
Hmm. Has your musical vocals changed? You gave us now like the inspiration and what you're attracted to, and also the the strong female empowerment message also coming through in your lyrics and your songs. So has your style, has it like what did you always kind of sing like that, or has it like evolved? You kind of pulling from these different areas that inspire you?
I think that I have evolved a lot vocally. I'm not, I've never had any actual vocal training. So, other than school choir. Um, so when I started out singing professionally, I did go through quite a heavy Janis Joplin phase when I was a teenager and in my early 20s. Um, and I think she, really, when I started singing professionally, when I started performing my original music professionally, I think I wanted to be a little Janis Joplin. And I soon realized that singing like that is just not built for longevity. And, I think just through trial and error on stage, embarrassing myself in front of a crowd of people, for many years and learning from each mistake that I've made over the years, I've just learned to develop more control. And I didn't start listening to Sarah Vaughan and Anita O'Day until I was in my early 30s. And I think that their delivery and their control really inspired me a lot. And I studied their vocal styles, and Gerald too, very heavily, and tried to mimic those and go there and learn how to control, different levels of my voice and learning how to sing from my chest more. I think it's just been trial and error, really, just learning from my mistakes. I, yeah, I mean, I never had any professional training or anything. And so, it's just been over the years, I've just developed this singing style. But yeah, I was a little more rough around the edges, definitely, when I was younger. And I think when I was really young and writing songs like 13, 14, 15, 16, I sounded like a little girl, and my voice didn't have quite as much power behind it. And I think as I got older, I just learned how to sing from my gut more than my throat, maybe.
Hmm. So you've really been like your own teacher, except for a little bit of formal training. You really kind of forged your own path and your own musical development, pretty
Yeah,
much.
yeah, pretty much. Trial and error.
Mhm.
Making lots of mistakes and learning from them.
Tiffany, let's talk about the lyrical content because your songs are original. You write them, you sing them, and the composition. Let's go into the lyrics. It seems like they're inspired by your life, from events, from your experiences. Is that correct?
Yeah, most of the things that I write are pretty autobiographical. It's basically like a diary. Um, Really, writing is just kind of like how I work through things, when I'm having some issues in my life or I'm just trying to process some feelings. Songwriting has always been sort of my personal therapy.
Mm, okay, so the songwriting is, as you're saying, is your personal therapy. It's self-discovery, it's release, it's kind of processing different things that are going on.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. So, singing my originals, which I was doing in my early 20s, and then I stopped for probably, I was just singing jazz professionally for, God, probably like 6 to 8 years. And then I started writing again and started really introducing my original into my jazz band, which then turned into what my band is now, which is not a jazz band at all anymore. But it took me a while to get back into that because it's kind of like eviscerating myself in front of an audience. I had to, you know, kind of muster up some bravery again and develop some I recorded a duet album with my cousin Eric Johansson. And I kind of stumbled upon that opportunity because I was doing session vocals at a local studio, singing on other people's music, singing background vocals on other people's music. And the producer there, Jack Mealy, we got to be good friends. And, I mentioned that I wanted to do a jazz album. And I was just planning on doing like a cover jazz standards. And he was shopping it around to some labels for me. And he wasn't getting any bites on any jazz labels. And he got this blues label, Nola Blue, which is the label I'm currently signed to. Um, and they really liked my stuff, but she was like, "Well, we're a blues label." And Eric and I had done a little blues show for like basically just our family. And I had some audio from that and I sent it to her and she signed us on the spot. And so we hurriedly got together and started writing music together. And two of the songs that I wrote, one of them I co-wrote with Eric, and the other one I wrote myself. Won like a bunch of awards and stuff, and so that was really the confidence booster I think I needed to say, "Wow, maybe I can write, and people actually like it, and maybe it's something worth pursuing." And
Mhm.
so then the label signed me on to write another original. So this is an all original album that I'm releasing in July.
Mhm. Oh, that's wonderful, and the great response that you received as well.
Yeah. I mean, because I've always been writing. I never stopped writing. I mean, from the age of as long as I can remember, I've always been writing. I just was always just writing for myself, really, and not with the intention of anyone necessarily hearing it.
Mhm.
Um, and then just getting that kind of feedback, and being like, wow, people dig what I'm doing. So that was really what I needed to
Mhm.
get the ball rolling, I guess.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Before we hear a second live song from you, Tiffany, let's talk about when you have performed live on the stage. Was that a comfortable place for you? Did you feel natural? Did you grow into it? What was that experience like for you?
It's always been a comfortable thing for me. I've always been a bit of a ham. um, I mean, when I was really small, I used to like corral my little brothers and force them into putting on variety shows with me, that I was of course starring in. And I was in dance when I was younger, and I always enjoyed being on stage when I was in chorus, all through from first grade all throughout high school. They always gave me a solo. I always auditioned for a solo, and if I didn't get a solo, I would get upset about it. So I loved it. I get nervous and I get butterflies and I get stressed and terrified, like coming up on a performance. Not so much anymore unless I'm playing somewhere new or it's like a big gig. But once I get up there, I don't know, like my adrenaline is just going, and I just love it.
Right. It's like you know that that's where you're supposed to be.
Yeah, and I've always loved it.
Right. You seem so well balanced within your not only your natural abilities, but you seem very connected with yourself. You know, you have your extroverted self, which you embrace fully, as you say, you kind of like to be a ham and kind of giving some examples, in your family life and whatnot. But you also have a, contemplative, reflective side that comes out through your lyrics and through your music as well. So it seems like you have a very, even kind of introverted, extroverted kind of weaving back and forth.
Yeah, I am a little bit of a mix of both. I mean, I definitely struggle with, social anxiety sometimes, but then there's that, like, I don't know, that like need for attention thing about me also that just sometimes just overrides that.
Mhm. Let's go ahead and let's just go into another one of your songs.
Okay, all right. This song, I was during the pandemic, there were lots of people just, being kind of crazy online. And I had gotten into a little tiff with a anti-masker lady, and she was just going at it on me, just trolling the heck out of me. And my feelings were real hurt, and I was lamenting to my guitar player's wife, who's also one of my best friends. I was like, oh my God, why is this lady being so mean to me? And she said, because you're a sassy bitch, and that's why we're friends. So this song is called Sassy Bitch. I see you out there, I see your sway. See you living like it's 40 years ago every day. I see you trying, girl, I'm trying too. But I keep trying to elevate, and you're still singing the same old tunes. Same old tunes. Well, I'm also sorry, baby, just can't help you scratch that itch. I don't like you, then I tell you, 'cause I'm a sassy bitch. Why can't you chill? Only hurt yourself. All that anger inside you, baby, put it on the shelf. Put it on the shelf. I know you ain't busy, you sure got a lot of time. 'Cause you keep blasting my name out there line after line. Well, you sure got a lot of time. Well, I'm also sorry, baby, just can't help you scratch that itch. I just don't like you, and I tell you, 'cause Go back under your bridge troll and ferment some more. Sometimes when that shit breaks down, it's sweeter than before. Show her the door. Well, I'm also sorry, baby. Just can't help you scratch that itch and just don't like you. And I tell you, 'cause I'm sassy bitch. Well, I'm also sorry, baby. Just can't help you scratch that itch. I just don't like it. And I tell you, 'cause I'm a sassy bitch. Just a sassy bitch. Just a sassy bitch.
Thank you, Tiffany. That was great. And I love this setup with that too. So, Tiffany, your approach feels very organic, like the way you approach your music and your instruments, physical, and also your voice. It just like you kind of go by an internal, driver and your ear. You just kind of move based on what you're feeling, what you're experiencing. Is that how you would describe it?
Yeah, pretty much. I feel like sometimes these songs just write themselves.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like I'm being like channeled or something. Like I'm not even writing them sometimes. It's,
Mm-hmm.
I don't
Mm-hmm.
know.
Right. And so that's just kind of like just coming through you.
My husband always says that I shouldn't use this example to describe how I write a lot of my songs, but I like to describe it as like an involuntary response, like vomiting, because it just like I'll get like a an idea, and it starts kind of like bubbling up in me, and then it just kind of comes out, and like that's how it is, and I feel like I don't, have to put a whole lot of thought into it or whatever. Like they just write themselves. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, sometimes, like I'll write an idea down and I'll do it and I'll go back and revisit it. But I feel like all of my favorite songs and the ones that I like the best and that other people tend to like the best are the ones that I feel like just kind of happen by themselves.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's really beautiful. And I'm so glad that you shared that. So when that happens, it's just almost like this surrender and this like beautiful flow that comes out. And you said there's almost like no thought. It writes itself.
Yeah, basically.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how else to describe it.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe one day I'll find a more uh, eloquent way of describing it that isn't vomiting.
Tiffany, when you're in the zone, are there any things that you do to kind of set up that type of environment, or is it just all pure organic and you just, have your pen and paper out, your instruments, and you just start going at it and that flow is going to be there? Is there any like little bit of a setup with that?
No, not really. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, I just, an idea will pop in my head. I could be taking a shower or like folding some laundry or like, driving. That's always inconvenient, but it happens sometimes, and I get an idea and I'll have to like pull over and write it down, or I have to like hurry up and get out of the shower and do it right now while I got it. And that's just kind of how it happens. It's
Mm-hmm.
like vomiting. You get that wave of nausea and boy, you better get to the bathroom.
Mm-hmm. So you
That's
just get these internal nudges, right? So you just get these internal nudges and you just listen to it and you go with it. It's there, it's done, and there we go.
And I mean, sometimes I go back and I revisit it and I tweak some lyrics here and there, or whatever. Sometimes I'll get like just a line, and man, that'd make a great song. And I have my phone on me all the time, and I use my little notes app in my phone, and I have like so many like ideas, and sometimes I'll sit down, and one of those ideas that I've had like in the past will repop in my head, and I'll be like, okay, I think now I'm ready to sit down and do that one. And then, it'll happen organically. The lyrics just kind of fall out once I sit down to do it. But I don't have like a preparation ritual or anything, that I do, you know, I don't do anything to like get in the mindset. I don't say like, okay, I'm going to sit down and write a song right now and blah, blah, blah. I don't really do that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Tiffany, let's talk about your band. Who's in your band, and what's going on with that? And I know we have a picture. Can we pull up the picture first and then have you elaborate?
Yeah.
Just a moment. All right.
Well, that's actually not my band.
Okay.
That is me and Benny Turner, who's also signed to Nola Blue. Um, I guess I didn't send you a picture of my band. I just sent you some like professional photos. But my band is, I wonder if I can share a screen with you and show you my band. My band consists of people that I've known for a long time, that I have been playing music with for a long time, primarily jazz. And they just are wonderful people that are just kind of my friends, my family, really. They hold on, I'm so sorry. I'm just trying to
In the video that we have, is that your band?
hold on. In the video that yes, that is my band.
Okay.
The video with the bunny, that is my band.
Okay.
Minus my sax player. He wasn't on that particular track. But yeah, my guitar player's name is Brandon Brunius, and Brandon is the son of a pretty well-known jazz musician, jazz trumpet player Wendell Brunius in New Orleans, and he is an incredible guitar player, and he was originally my bass player for years. I sing in a traditional jazz band. I've been in this band for about 8 years called the Dapper Dandies, and he played bass with the Dapper Dandies, and then I had him play bass once I started my own band. And then I also have my bass player, Odom, I've known for a long time, and who I immensely respect as a songwriter himself. And I decided that I wanted to have him on bass because I loved them both so much, and I just wanted them both in my band. And I knew that Brandon really wanted to start playing guitar more, and I was like, well, this is perfect. You play guitar, and then Stu will play bass, and then I can have my cake and eat it too. And then my drummer, Ian Patillo, he's actually the newest member of my band. During the pandemic, I was doing a live stream series every Monday night. And my old drummer, Adam Everett, we were all struggling at the time. And so he had to go get himself a day job, and then he wasn't available. And so I started using Ian because Ian is in a band with Stu, my bass player, called the Sleazeball Orchestra, and they're wonderful. And I just fell in love with Ian. He is a great drummer, but he's also a great collaborator, and I've been writing with him, and he always has great ideas about ways that I could like tweak my songs to make them better. He's got a lot of formal musical training, which I obviously don't, and so I'm limited to my limited abilities, and it's really great. He always has really great ideas. My sax is Christopher, and he's been a local sax player, and I've been playing with him with the Dapper Dandies for years now as well. And I just love all these guys. You know, I see them all the time. I've been playing with them for years, like family to me. And it's really more than just a band. You know, my bandmates are my best friends.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I feel very fortunate to have that kind of a relationship with them.
Yeah, yeah. Tiffany, let's go ahead and show this video with your band. Do you want to set anything up before we show it?
Sure. So this song, I actually wrote about Stu, my bass player. I was actually, this is funny how this song came to fruition. I was actually on stage with the Dapper Dandies playing a show at the Balcony Music Club, which is before the pandemic. We used to play there every Tuesday night for like 6 years. And it's a traditional jazz band. And so I sing the form of the, and then there's 3 horn players, and each horn player takes a solo, and then I sing the form again. It's like, that's the recipe. So while the guys were soloing, I'm off in my own head, and I thought of these lyrics. I was just thinking about Stu and how much I love him, and and then I just started thinking about all my like guy friends and how much I love all of them, and you know what it's like to have this platonic love for someone. And so I kind of had the idea, and a lot of the lyrics I wrote in my head and then held on to it for the rest of the gig, and went home and wrote down as much as I could, and then the next day I wrote down the rest, and the melody just kind of happened in my head with the lyrics, and it was too complicated of a melody for me to figure out on the ukulele by myself. So I sat down with Ian, and my drummer, and he's also a great piano player, and he kind of helped me write what I was hearing in my head down so that the other guys could learn it, and that's how that song came to be.
All right. Wow. What a great collaboration. Let's go ahead and share that with everyone.
All right.
I find you ever so appealing. Do I give you a similar feeling? This is where the story ends. I'm just a girl who doesn't often get along with other girls, don't you see? It isn't easy. What we have there was anyway. I like you. I just love the way you think. Though
Why can't we be friends? So many cities in this world. I know what they say, and I think it's absurd. What we'd have there was anyway. I like you. I just love the way you think. Though I wouldn't want you in my bed, can't get you out of my head. I wouldn't want to, 'cause I like you. I like you.
That was great, Tiffany. From your sultry voice to, getting to see some of your other bandmates, to the black and white, to the bunny. What a great video.
Thank you, thank you. That my dear friend Louis Doblin helped me put that together. He does pretty much all of my music videos. I have a lot of faith and trust in him. He's a genius. I loved
Great.
the idea. I just had this idea of being on a date with a bunny, and like just having this bunny with these like vacuous eyes having absolutely zero interest in me, and just kind of loving all over this, kind of like a Pepe Le Pew sort of a thing. I don't know. I thought it would be hilarious, and I still laugh every time I look at that video.
The whole thing works, and your bubbliness and effervescentness really come out.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun filming that, and I got to snuggle with an adorable bunny all afternoon, which was certainly a bonus.
Yeah, and your rapport with it is awesome.
Thanks.
Let's talk about Liberty Bayou. I'm gonna pull up that image because that's your album coming out in July.
16.
July 16th. Okay, let's get that up and let's take a look at that. All right. Tell us about this.
So I woke up in the middle of the night with vision of I'd been toiling over what the heck I was going to do for album cover art. And I was awakened in the middle of the night by a vision that I should have this kind of like, that I should tie in some of my Roman Catholic upbringing and some of that like holy card imagery with the fact that I grew up on a bayou, and also tying in imagery of the Statue of Liberty and lib and God, rising out of the muck kind of thing. And so I had this idea that I was going to do a photo shoot of me coming up out of the bayou in a white dress. And everyone thought I was absolutely insane for wanting to get in the bayou. But, I grew up swimming in the bayou. Of course, I would never swim in the bayou now, because now that I'm older, I, for some reason, am more aware and afraid of alligators and snakes and things. But when I was a kid, I used to bayou. I guess I was just, because I was a kid, I was fearless. So, I did some consulting with some wildlife people that I know, and we did it in February when it's cold enough that like the reptiles in the bayou are not really feeding.
Mm-hmm.
And I got in that bayou. I had someone come out with me, armed with a gun and a knife, ready to jump in and rescue me if a gator tried to pull me in. And I made a headdress out of palmetto fronds, and I got in the bayou and I hired a photographer to come do it, and I managed to pull off what I had envisioned. And then I got my Aunt Frances, who's my Eric's mother. She's also a pretty talented graphic designer, and I got her to do, the rest of it.
Mm-hmm. It's a striking image, and I love the message as well. And your bravery, to get in there. And then you said you made the headdress as well. So the whole concept and everything that you're tying in is all part of Tiffany and part of your message, and rising up out of, as you said, the muck, which is so beautiful. And the lotus flower comes up out of the mud. So there's so much rich symbolism and such a beautiful message that comes forth through this, Tiffany. And of course, then the whole visual presentation, from the graphics to everything is really quite striking.
Thank you. I was really, really happy with how it came out. It it came out exactly like I envisioned it, so I really couldn't be happier with it.
Mhm. So tell us, what else is on this album that's coming out? Just give us a little more of a feel, as you said, it's coming out July 16th.
It's 12 original songs of mine, and I took the whole band out to Memphis, Tennessee, and I worked with a very well-known blues artist out there who produced it with me. His name's John Nemeth, and and then I worked with a Grammy award-winning technician, engineer, Scott Bomer, and also another well-known engineer, Adam Hill, out there in Memphis at Electrophonic Studios. And we recorded everything live on tape. So reel to reels, basically, with the exception of a couple of songs where we cut and pasted a little bit here and there, it's pretty much all just live takes. And we recorded it all on vintage equipment. I mean, the reverb was done on a giant electroplate that was in the hallway of the recording studio, and I recorded on a, vintage RCA microphone. And I think with the content being so organic, it just felt really natural to record in that way. And it was just really cool. I was recording in Memphis like all of the legends that I look up to did, the 40s and 50s, and it was an incredible experience recording
Mm-hmm.
there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it sounds like an amazing experience.
Yeah.
Tiffany,
So
we have a few more minutes. I'd like just to touch upon moving forward. What are your musical aspirations? Where do you want to take your music? What do you envision yourself doing?
I just want to be able to keep doing this for the rest of my life. And I would be happy to just have my career be successful enough to where people want to continue to see me perform live, and where I can continue to have the opportunity to record my original music and play my original music. It's all just been such a wonderful thing for me that's happening, here as I'm, approaching my 40s. What on earth are they doing out there? Um, it's just really cool to have this opportunity at this time in my life where, when I was younger, I always thought things would pretty much be over. And my career is really just starting to take off. And I would really just, it would be a dream come true for me to just to be able to continue to be doing what I'm doing right now.
Yes, yes, absolutely.
And maybe to
Tiffany,
tour more, maybe to go to Europe and travel a little bit more than I've done in the past.
yes. Tiffany, we're going to need to wrap the show up. We'd like to leave you with the closing comments, however you'd like to kind of wrap up the show for us, and let us know how we can stay connected with you.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you can always visit my website, tiffanypollackandco.com. I'm pretty active on Facebook and Instagram, Tiffany Pollack at Tiffany Pollack NOLA, NOLA, which is my handle on Facebook and Instagram. I, post things on my YouTube channel every once in a while. As soon as I'm approaching my album coming out, I'm going to be doing a cocktail series. During the pandemic, I really got into cocktails because we were just kind of sitting around. And they really kind of took off my Instagram. People were really into it. And, everyone's been asking me to write a book, and I just don't know if I want to do that. So I'm going to do a web series. And I'm going to be doing cocktails that tie in with my songs. So every week I'm going to have a new cocktail that goes with one of the songs from the album. So it'll be a 12 episode series that'll be coming out July 16th. And I'm super excited about that. So that'll be on my YouTube channel. Yeah, I'm just going to try to be doing a little bit of touring, and I play in New Orleans pretty regularly, so I'll still be doing that. And yeah, check me out on social media and find out where I'm going to be. My calendar on my website is always up to date, and any announcements or whatever that I have to make will be on there, or Facebook and Instagram. So
Tiffany, you have so many exciting things going on, and we want to wish you much success with your new album coming out. The whole cocktail series sounds great, and the whole vibe with that, and you're performing and with your band, and your singer-songwriter, your beautiful, beautiful, soulful, sultry voice, and musical accompaniment. Thank you so much for being our guest today on Art and Talk and helping us get to know you and your music and your musical journey.
Thank you so much, Leslie. This was a pleasure. And I'm happy to do this any old time. And thank you so much. And thanks for what you're doing and reaching out to me. And yeah, this was a lot of fun.
All right. All right. Thank you so much, Tiffany. Wow. I love your energy. You're so bubbly. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Thanks.
Thank you, everyone, for watching Art and Talk today. We appreciate the time you take to connect in with us and watch our videos. We hope you're inspired by them. Do stay connected with us on social media, on our YouTube channel, and also on our Facebook page. Again, thank you so much, Tiffany, for sharing your music and your journey with us. Thank you again, everybody, for watching. We'll talk soon on the next Art and Talk. Until then, be well and be blessed.